welcome to Format. I'm Sven.
And I'm David.
And tonight we're looking at Shadow of the Beast.
Again.
Because
he deserves it.
He deserves it. Yeah, absolutely. You'll probably remember, if you're psychotic enough to have watched the first episode we did of this series, that we looked at Shadow of the Beast on the Amiga because
it rocks.
It rocks. One. Maybe not in the gameplay stakes, but certainly in the graphics and sound stakes.
Because you're a massive geek and it's something you're a huge fan of, and therefore try and push it on anybody that will listen to you for more than 2 seconds.
Yep, just like Transformers.
Yep.
Yeah. But Sony had released a trailer for Shadow of the Beast on the PlayStation 4, which nobody was expecting, and everybody was like, really? When it happened.
So everybody did little turtle impressions. Really? I don't think they did. They didn't get the side view. I got the side view. It looked like a snapping turtle.
And it was, and I took great umbrage at people, one saying it was a game on the Amiga and all this kind of stuff at the time. Which like, these were journalists. These were gaming journalists who didn't know what a Commodore Amiga was. I was like, help me.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
Well, why are you giving them the dignity of calling them journalists? They're not proper journalists.
They're paid to write magazines.
Yeah, that doesn't actually
that
make them a
journalist.
No,
kind of does.
I mean, that's like saying cheesy poofs that run for American electoral things are politicians. No.
Well, he's even admitted to having to be a politician now, so there we go.
Anyway, yes. Hello.
Cheesy poofs.
Cheesy poof.
So, yes, going back to Shadow of the Beast.
Shadow of the Beast.
It did come out on innumerate formats at the time. The Commodore 64 cartridge would be particularly interesting because they managed to get more layers of parallax scrolling in it than the Amiga version, which was like, how?
By being clever bunnies.
Yes, another rather rare version of it I've got is this one, which is actually the PC Engine CD-ROM.
For those of you who don't know,
the PC Engine was a games console released by NEC back in the late 80s. It was actually an 8-bit console, but the graphics chips in it were pretty much identical to what was capable, what arcade machines were doing at the time. So, for instance, one of the best known releases for the PC Engine was R-Type, which was originally put out on 2 hue cards, which are like credit card sized cards with a chip on. And on import at the time they were like £80 to £100 a game, so it was like, yeah. Now eventually the PC Engine was also released in the States as a TurboGrafx, and there was later versions with the CD-ROM drive built in and so on and so forth, so they actually did R-Type complete, which is actually quite hard to get hold of and quite sought after. And Shadow of the Beast was one of the games that got released in Japan for it, which is always a weird thing when you have a British game released in Japan. So that's quite cool. The graphics on it look very similar to the Mega Drive, to be honest. When it was released on the Mega Drive, and it was released on pretty much everything they can get it on without destroying the game. Now, as we mentioned earlier, there was a PlayStation 4 version. Now, we haven't really reviewed that yet, mainly because I reviewed it for Micromart and the Amiga Mart page, which means it was a bit of a conflict of interest if I reviewed it at the time for our channel.
But given that neither of those publications exist anymore,
we can probably get away with it.
Paper format.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I mean, I did do, when the game launched, from midnight that night, because it was a digital only game. It's under 15 quid, it's worth grabbing. But the day it came out, which was last May, I actually stayed up till midnight till it actually unlocked on the PS4 and live streamed it onto my YouTube channel. So if you have a look at my YouTube channel, you'll find the streams there, because it was recorded over. So there we go. But now I've managed to grab something which makes it much more interesting. Now there's a little bit an interesting situation over in the Far East. In Hong Kong,
I'm really glad you clarified that. I was about to say, fuck yeah, this is going to be a long episode.
we are talking about video games.
Even
Okay?
so.
Calm. In Hong Kong, Sony have a tendency to release games that are download only actually on disc.
Yes.
In every other part of the world, you can't get them on disc. You have to download them. But in Hong Kong, they do limited releases of them. So I was very pleased that my daughter came back from her university placement in Hong Kong, and there's this. Now, in this country...
I didn't even get a stick of rock. Just saying.
It's a bizarre situation where you have to go to Hong Kong for a physical version of a British game. It's quite bizarre. So this is actually really quite a rare release.
Why did you only bring you back one? A dozen of them.
You've got legal issues with selling them.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, because it's PEGI 18 here. And to try and sell it without the ratings on it and stuff, it's a bit fiddly.
Anyway.
At least it isn't a BBFC 18, because that's a jail term. But yeah, so this is quite a really nice thing to have. It's very different, you know. But you know, if there's any digital only games that you've downloaded and you want a physical copy of, you might be worth having a look at some of the Hong Kong sellers and see if they've got them available, because that's really cool, really nice. What we'll do is we'll show you some of the footage of the game being played, because I have played it a bit and my son's played it a lot. Quite enjoyed it, in between, you know, getting himself slaughtered and things like Dead Souls. Stuff like that. So if you want to check out the game, do feel free. When I did review it in Micromart, I gave it 9 out of 10, I think it was, because it was only about £14, I think, at launch, and it was just like, for that kind of money, it's easy. One of the really nice things about it though is that it's got the original Amiga version in it as an emulator.
Nice.
So you can play that, and you can even play it if you've unlocked the right things in the normal game. You can play the Amiga version with infinite life.
Yes.
And stuff like that. And it's even got the soundtrack for the Amiga version on it as well. And Sony have also made available the soundtrack to this game as a download as well, which is all really cool. The guy who did the music for this, which is what's his name now? Ian Livingston. Basically kept the essence of the original music, which is very, very important for this release. And the graphics in the gameplay itself are very reminiscent of the original Amiga one, but obviously much more up to date. But it is very, very, very definitely Shadow of the Beast, and I hope they do a second one.
It's like kind of familiar.
labores la deos volas tu.
Well, it's certainly very reminiscent of the original game. Well, duh. If they can emulate that, can we not have emulation of all of the Psygnosis games, please? All of the Amiga Psygnosis games? I'll play Armageddon. So can you texture it? Shadow Beast 2 would be pretty cool. And 3. Visual Lightning. Natural DMO, well, Rockstar would like that. Gotta remember, it's not a directly connected joystick anymore.
Well, I think that about wraps it up. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave them in the comment section below. You can subscribe to us here on YouTube. You can follow us on both Facebook and Twitter. And of course, there is the official Geekology website. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Ta-da. PC Engine was a games console made by NEC in the 80s. It was released in the States as the TurboGrafx, and there was
You set
Checking
Siri
my
off.
sources. Okay, I found something on the web for who is in. Take a look.
I've got. I don't know how you set off my Siri, but who was in? As in, who was in the 80s? Okay.
Okay.
That was bizarre. Bye bye, Siri. Oh, Cortana.
I bet you do.
Oh yeah. Some blue veins.
There's nothing like a naked hologram to get you up in the morning.
Tasha Young.
That was close.
Right in my head. Shall we have another crack at this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a nice short one. You can subscribe to us here. No. Sven was quicker than he normally is. It's all the Japanese stuff. Well, that's Sven's thoughts on it. We'd love to hear some of yours. Leave them in the comments below. You can subscribe to us here on YouTube. You can follow us on both Facebook and Twitter. And there is, of course, the... are we doing the Geekology? Yeah. Hey, 2.